The HP Spectre X2 retains the slick, high-end style that we loved from the original model, while refining things a bit to make it much more user-friendly. It's a much stronger Surface Pro competitor than before, but there's still plenty of room for improvement. Much like the recent Spectre laptop, the X2 is a way for HP to show it can make premium devices on par with the likes of Apple. The tablet portion of the X2's case is still made out of aluminum, giving it a smooth and solid feel. It's accented by the copper kickstand, which looks particularly striking against the black metal case. Thankfully, HP got rid of the annoying kickstand quick release button. Now you can just pull it out manually like you can with the Surfaces. Plus, the kickstand can go all the way down to 165 degrees now, like the Surface Pro, a full 15 degrees more than the last model. The 3000 by 2000 pixel 12.3 inch display is incredibly sharp. That amounts to 293 pixels per inch. You won't notice any fuzziness around text and images, even if you try really hard. HP also shaved off some of the bezel area around the screen, which allowed it to plug in a slightly bigger display than last year. Another big change, the display now features a 3:2 aspect ratio, which makes it a bit taller than the previous model's widescreen version. That makes it more useful for viewing web pages and working on documents, but in exchange you'll have to live with black bars when watching movies. The X2's keyboard cover, which is thankfully bundled in the box, shares the same black and copper aesthetic. The magnets that attach it to the bottom of the tablet are strong enough to safely lift the entire setup by the keyboard. An aluminum layer alongside the keys makes it more rigid than the Surface and other hybrid laptop designs. Most importantly, the keyboard feels great to type on, with a surprising amount of key travel for such a slim machine. Its touchpad, on the other hand, is a lot more finicky. While it's usually smooth, it sometimes requires multiple clicks and swipes to get it to do what you want. And if your fingers have a little bit of sweat or grease on them, it gets even worse. Another useful feature on the keyboard is a small slot for HP's stylus, which is included in the box. It's not as fully featured as Microsoft's Surface Pen, and it doesn't mimic the feeling of putting pen to paper as well, but it was fine for some quick note-taking and doodling. Serious artists might want to invest in something better though. The Spectre X2 packs in 7th generation Intel Core CPUs, which is a solid upgrade from the low-powered chips from the last model. HP also moved its speakers from the sides to the front. They sound decent for a laptop, but they certainly won't replace a good pair of external ones or headphones. There's a 13 megapixel camera on the back, as well as a 5 megapixel front-facing camera with Windows Hello infrared capabilities. As for ports, the X2 features two USB 3.1 Type-C connections, which can handle both external displays and charging, a microSD slot, and a headphone jack. HP also includes a USB-C to A dongle in the box for connecting your older gear. While it might be annoying to carry that around, it's nice to see HP make the transition to USB-C, especially when Microsoft is still refusing to adopt it on the Surface lineup. Thanks to its beefier processor, the Spectre X2 feels just as speedy as any modern ultraportable. It's not much of a gaming machine, but it'll run things like Minecraft just fine. I found the XP to be just as sturdy as the Surface Pro, even when using it on my lap. It'll probably take you a few tries to find a comfortable position, but it's possible. And thanks to the sturdy keyboard design, I had no trouble typing out most of this review with it balanced on my legs. The X2's tablet weighs in at 1.68 pounds. With the keyboard, the whole package jumps to 2.5 pounds, just a tad more than the Surface Pro. While the tablet is a bit heavy compared to the iPad, it's fine for browsing the web or reading the occasional digital comic. Unfortunately, HP didn't make any significant leaps when it comes to battery life. The X2 lasted for 7 hours and 45 minutes in our testing, an hour longer than last year's model. That's still an improvement, but it can't hold a candle to the Surface Pro, which clocked in at 13 hours and 40 minutes. The Spectre X2 starts at $1150 with a 7th generation Core i5 processor, 8GB of RAM, and a 128GB SSD. And don't forget, that also includes a keyboard and stylus. The Surface Pro, meanwhile, starts at $799 for an underpowered model, and those accessories are at least another $230 on top of that. And if you wanted a Surface Pro on par with the X2, you'd have to shell out for the $1299 model. HP isn't trying as hard to undercut Microsoft's pricing this year, but still offering a decent value. Overall, the new Spectre X2 brings along some much-needed improvements, but a few issues hold it back from being a must-have. HP seriously has to do something about its battery life, especially now that Microsoft offers twice as much with the Surface Pro. And the touchpad problems, which we've criticized with the last model, are simply inexcusable. HP has proven it can build show-stopping, stylish machines. Now it needs to make sure they're as easy to use as the competition.